Recording whenever you're ready.
Alright, so I'm Mike Keegan and I'm running Hazy Flame Fire Kings. I'm pretty poor, so the deck is not finished yet. But I'm going to show you my deck profile anyway. So we got 3 Hazy Flame Cerberus. Basically, you can get it on the field without tributing, and when it gets destroyed, which is pretty easy because it has 1,000 attack, when you do it like that, it'll search a Hazy Flame card, which you can search that, or that. We'll get to those things later. Next staples to my deck are 3 Sphinxes. You can't summon them like Cerberus, but when you do get them on the field, which isn't that hard, you can call a card type, and if you mill the top card from your deck correctly, you can special summon a fire monster from your hand or deck, or from your hand or graveyard, which is nice to set up some overlay plays. Next you have Hazy Flame Perryton. He's the best card in my deck. Unfortunately, I have one of them, and I would run 2 ideally, but I only have 1 right now. He's basically Rescue Rabbit. You can tribute him when he's on the field and pitch a fire monster from your hand to special summon any 2 Hazy Flame monsters from your deck, and that sets up a lot of rank 6 overlay plays, which we'll get to later. And for the last of the Hazy monsters, we have Hazy Flame Griffin. There's 2 of them. And basically, you can just special summon him when your opponent controls a monster and everything in your field or graveyard is fire, which is nice because you can just, if you have him and Cerberus in your hand, it's basically automatic. It's basically an automatic overlay. So that's the Hazy stuff. Next we have like fire staples. You have 3 Flamvell Fire Dog. This searches out a lot of things in my deck. You can search out Cerberus with it. You can search out Brong, or you can search out him. Get to those later. Next we have 3 Fire King Brong. This guy, whenever he's destroyed by a card effect, searches out your Fire King stuff, which is nice because if you're in a bad spot, you can just have this guy get destroyed and then like grab an onslaught and go into a lot of things from there. So he's good. Also, I just realized this the other day. If another Fire King, so like that guy, is destroyed by a card effect, you can special summon him from your hand, which comes in handy sometimes. Next we have Garunix. A lot of people run 3 of them. I only run 2 because if he gets into your hand, it's basically game over. Basically, when you onslaught to get him on the field, and then at the end phase, Onslaught destroys him, and then he comes back and destroys every monster on the field. And so it's basically a dark hole on legs. In your deck, you have a lot of ways to destroy him. And if it happens that he's destroyed by battle, which happens a lot because he only has 27, you can bring a Fire King from the deck to the field, which is nice. So, and then for the last monster, we have Flamvell Magician. Not really Hazy or Fire King, but he's Fire type. He's 4 stars and he's a tuner, and he can be searched out by Fire Dog and brought back by Rekindling. So he's nice to set up some synchro plays. So that's it for monsters. Now move on to spells. 3 Onslaught. As I explained before, you can use Onslaught, and you can special summon any Fire Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast type monster from your deck, and then at the end phase it's destroyed and its effects are negated. So you can use this to bring out Garunix, or you can use it, I use it sometimes to bring Cerberus to the field, because I can use that to overlay with something in my hand, and if it doesn't work out, he'll just get destroyed and I'll be able to search. So that works well. Next we have Circle. This is a really, if you know how to use this card, it has so many uses. You can use this. It basically destroys a monster on your field and brings one back from your graveyard. So in your battle phase, if you're trying to push for game, you can use this. After your one monster's attack, use this, send him to the graveyard, bring back another one, and have that monster attack. Milks for damage. Also, if you have it set and your opponent activates something like Dimensional Prison or something, or anything that targets, you can use this to save your monsters. And more often than not, it saves Garunix, and it's because if Garunix is on the field and I activate this, Garunix goes to the graveyard, it comes back next time, destroys every monster. So you can also get those plays going. Next we have 3 Rekindling. Late in the game, this is easily the most destructive card in the deck. Basically, you can special summon from your graveyard as many fire monsters with 200 defense, which is basically every one of my monsters. You can use this to set up synchro plays, overlay plays, basically anything you want. You can just have 5 monsters on the field and, push for game. Very powerful card. Even early in the game, it can get you out of some tough spots. Bring back. It acts like Monster Reborn sometimes. It's a really good card. We have Hazy Pillar. We only run 2. Basically, what happens is I can use this to summon Sphinx for 1 less tribute. Sphinx or Perryton or any Hazy Flame monster, but those are the main 2 guys I use it for. Also, you can. Its second effect is if you have an XYZ monster, you can attach a Hazy Flame monster from your hand or field to that XYZ monster for an extra material, which is nice for Balcitris, which I'll get into later. So next we have 1 of Starcold, Monster Reborn Heavy Storm, 2 MST, 2 Forbidden Lance because you want your monster plays to go off, and it can also help you with Fire Dog if the monster is too big for Fire Dog to destroy. So that's spells. And only 4 traps in this deck. We have 2 Torrential Tribute because it destroys every monster, and more often than not it'll help you with Garunix and Barong. And then 2 Call of the Haunted because it just brings back monsters, and you can actually MST if you use Call of the Haunted on Garunix. You can MST Call of the Haunted, so Garunix gets destroyed by Call of the Haunted's effect, and then it comes back next turn and destroys every monster. All right, so that's the main deck. Now we have the extra deck, which is the most important part of the deck. You have 3 Hazy Flame Balcitris. This is easily the best monster in the deck. 2 or more level 6 fire monsters, pretty easy to achieve with the deck list there. You can basically, on your turn, you can detach 1 to banish a monster that your opponent controls or in their graveyard. So that's nice, and it has 3 more effects. If you have 3 or more materials on it, that gains 200 attack for each one. If you have 4 or more, it can't be targeted by your opponent's card effects, which is consistent with every other Hazy Flame monster. I forgot to mention that. None of the Hazy Flame monsters in the main deck can be targeted by card effects. Another thing that makes them nice. And if it has 5 or more, it can't be destroyed by card effects. So like not even Dark Hole or Torrential Tribute will work on it. So it's really nice, and it's pretty easy to get those extra materials with Pillar. And then next we run 2 Photon Strike Bouncers and 1 Gauntlet Launcher, just 2 good or 3 good XZs. I like this card because you can destroy you can destroy 2 monsters in the same turn with just its effect, and it can still attack. So it has a major upside. I used to have Exabeetle. I had to give it away for some other resources. If I had the means, I would probably have that Exabeetle and Force Focus in there, and also the one where you can just overlay for anything. Next we have the Rank Force, Utopia, Photon, Gem Knight, Shockmaster, and Heraldry Crest. This is all basically because I can't afford anything else. But look up that card, it's actually not that bad. Next we have Sun Dragon because you do run 2 Garunix and 2 8-star Synchros, so in case you ever need it, it can be useful. Then for the Synchros we have Scrap Dragon and Crimson Blader. This really should be a Stardust. Don't have Stardust. Scrap is nice because you can destroy your own monsters, which helps you. And Crimson Blader, like if your opponent runs deck with level 5 or higher monsters, it can be a really good card. That's it. Thanks for listening.